Hello, friends. Hello, happy Thursday night. It's not Friday night. Happy Thursday night. Make sure the mic's working and everything's good. Give you guys a second to hop on. Hello, hello, happy Thursday night. And someone posted that today was Barbie Day. So I had to throw on a Barbie sweatshirt. How are we doing? Hi, Kari. How you doing? Kari's already in Moncton, which I will be flying to. I have to get up at 4. So this will be a quick one tonight, but it's good. This is a quick one, but with massive impact. So hello, how we doing? Hi, Cindy. Hi, Connie. Brenda, Teresa. Hi, Julie. How are you? So I think it'll be pretty quiet because probably a lot of people don't remember that I can't go live tomorrow because I won't be here. So I'm happy for all of the friends that are here tonight. I know depending where you are in the world, this might not be the easiest time to be on here, but you can come back and visit again tomorrow night and watch it over again or do the technique on the weekend. But this is a fun one. We need that white crayon again, or you could use colored pencils, pencil crayons, as we say here in Canada, pencil crayon. Whatever you want to do. But the whole technique tonight is called frottage, which is rubbing. You're going to rub something with a higher texture or a depressed area to create a resist technique. And it is really fun and subtle and soft and beautiful. And I'm going to just kind of give you, like I always do tonight, is kind of an intro to the technique. And then later on, we will up the whole thing. It's going to be so much fun. Good to see you too, Virginia. How are you? Lots of friends here tonight. Hello, Lizette. I'm going to be in Puerto Rico next Friday. I fly into Puerto Rico and then hop on a cruise ship on Sunday. So I will be hanging out in Old San Juan and doing the things. So hello, my friend Ola. Very good to see you. So tonight is really fun. I have some stencils. I have some embossing folders ready. Got to remember where I put everything. It's around here somewhere. Embossing folders, dies. You could use punch shapes, whatever that you have that has a impression or depression that you could lay your paper on top and do all of the things. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hello from Lima, Peru. How are you? And yes, I can't wait to go to New Zealand as well. Was looking at flights today. Got to organize all those things. Hi, B. How are you? And Crystal. Yes, I'm going to see you tomorrow. Oh my goodness, I could cry. So I'm going to see a lot of friends tomorrow at Crop and Create in Moncton. That was my last live in-person event right when the world shut down. So it's kind of like a going back to the beginning. It's going to be a lot of fun to see lots of friends. In Minnesota, it's snowing again. I'm hoping to miss the snow tomorrow morning. Our flight leaves at 8 a.m. and we're supposed to be getting a snowstorm, but I can't wait. Oh my goodness, Julianne. See Julianne, I'm going to see her tomorrow. That's what I say. Be prepared for long, uncomfortable hugs. Like when you're like, is this when you like hug and release? And then just know that it's going to go just that little bit past being comfortable because that's what I'm ready for. It's what I'm here for. So tonight's going to be a lot of fun. We're doing frottage and you're going to be surprised that this technique is something so simple, but the results are wow. Okay, so I have so much to do before I go. So tonight is, hi Carol, how are you? Is going to be, let's just get right into it. No chatter. So I know for some of you who are opposed to the chatter at the beginning of these will love that. So flipping the camera around. Happy Barbie Day. Very excited about that. And let's see, do the things because tonight I could do it wrong. Yay! So tonight I almost signed up for Scrap Fest. Well, I'd love to see you there if you go. The classes I'm going to be doing are so much fun. Lots of product in those kits. It's going to be good. Hi, Barbie. Hello, Jennifer. So just let me put my laptop down. I'm jiggling you guys all over, but yes, it is. Somebody posted it's National Barbie Day or something. So even if it isn't, give me any excuse to put on my new Barbie University. That's what it says, Barbie University sweatshirt. And I'm in, right? So take a look. I have my notes to remind me of what I want to do, but look at this technique. How fun is that? So it's going to be a lot of fun going to watch on replay. I love it, Denise. I know it's Thursday night. A lot of you are like, I have work in the morning, or I'm tired. I can't do this tonight. I'm here for you, friends. I won't be here tomorrow, so I had to get it in, and I didn't want to just cancel it this week. So I thought, let's just do it on Thursday night. So we're just going to do it on Thursday night. You don't like gravy on your fries either? What's wrong with you, Dawn? I love gravy on my fries. That is the best thing ever, right? With a little bit of cheese curd. I love it. So here is the idea for frottage. This is on page 42 in Creative Foundations, and it's rubbing. A rubbing technique. Like some people will do this with colored pencils. You know, like when people used to go through like graveyards and they would rub, I don't even know what the purpose of that is, but I just remember that being a thing, that you take lead and rub the dates on a piece of paper off of the gravestones. So there's a lot of different applications for this, but it's a lot of fun. And I thought tonight is the night. It will be lots of fun to try this frottage. It's a French word for rubbing. And I'll bet you learned a form of frottage in elementary school, right? Over leaves. We used to get leaves and we put a piece of paper on top and you'd rub over them with a crayon and it would create a resist, right? So same idea, and we're just going to use it with the 10 million crafting tools that we have. The one thing you will want to keep in mind, you need paper that is not foundations paper thick. You can try it with foundations, but I'm not sure if that paper is pretty stiff. I don't know if it'll have enough give to get into the grooves. So you might want to try stuff with not as much thickness. So I just grabbed some cardstock for tonight. Okay, so I grabbed a whole bunch of things. What book is that? So this is, we're revisiting the book I wrote 100 million years ago, just to show that your idea books still have a lot of great content. So I've just been pulling out some favorite techniques from this to do some fun art, and it just made this so much easier for my Friday nights, tonight, Thursday night, so that we can do lots of fun things. So I want to show you tonight. I'm going to quickly show you a reveal. Let's grab something. Let's do it on an embossing folder, okay? So let's hope this one will give me what I need. So I'm just going to put it, you pick the side you want, and I'm taking a white crayon, and I am just putting some wax on. Sorry, I'm shaking you around, I'm sure, right? It's like my favorite Barbie. Do you remember those? You guys will remember this if you were like me. Those things where you take the lead and you would drag down the plates, fashion plates. It was probably one of my favorite things. And I don't think anybody will be surprised by that if you've hung out with me for any amount of time. Fashion plates were like one of my favoriteest things in the world. So tonight is like our art version of fashion plates, right? You have those. Do you still have them? Erin, I love it. So you can't see this, but you're going to see it now. Let's take a darker color so you can see the reveal. I'm going to go in with Festive Berries. So I want to show you what this is all about. Oh my goodness. This is the softest, most fun technique. And look at that, lickety split, Barbara trick. Look how fun that and fast that was. I'm not even changing my ink blending tool. We'll just go in here with a couple different colors. And I will show you. So this is not super crisp, which to me adds to the complete charm of this technique, is using your crayon on anything with a raised surface to get, look at, I'm going to bring this up here. How fun is that, right? So you see where we can go with this, right? You could do background for a card. You could do this for die cuts. We could stamp on top and we could cut them out. This is great for paper piecing. So say you have a lot of those new dies that have all of the different pieces. You could go in and just easily put a different pattern on each one and then ink them. But yes, frottage, super easy. Now, I'm sure all of you who are like, you're in your jammies and you're like, I'm not doing anything tonight. And now you're going to be tempted to grab something, because you're going to want to make something, right? So look at, I could even go on my stencils. And again, you might want to secure so it doesn't move, because the stuff you're rubbing on it, right? You could move it. So let's do this. I don't think it's too wet. I've been making my ready-made backgrounds because I have to get those mailed before I leave tomorrow. So I have to get them done, and Riley's girlfriend's going to go drop it off for me because I'm like, Denise, can you go to FedEx and do this? And oh my goodness, so many things. And then like all of the fun things that happen in our world, because if you guys have been hanging out, you know I do kits and we do online classes on top of all of this mixed media fun. Well, the vintage class, the product, some of it arrived from where did it arrive from today? From Simple Stories. So want the best? It gets here and it says box 1 through 10, but box 8 of 10 is missing. So all of the pattern paper, the open stock pattern paper, is missing. So talk about, like, I could have almost vomited today. I'm like, are you serious? So we do the follow-up, and it probably fell, like when they were loading the truck, the pallet probably came apart and they lost a box, or the box broke and they don't care. So I had to get on the phone, and because I love Simple Stories, they were very quick to help me out, but one of the paper completely sold out. So I need to also get online and post about that, because if you guys are doing access only, I had to add another paper. And you know what? It's just doing business in this day and age. But let me tell you, it is incredibly stressful. So that's the kind of day I've had, if you were wondering at all, that Vicky could almost vomit, because then I'm like, oh, it's just another thing for me to have to worry about, you know. It's stressful and completely out of my control. There's not one thing I could have done to fix that, right? Where can you purchase white crayons? Nancy Marie, you can get them at Dick Blick. You can get them online at most art stores. You can get them on Amazon. One day I'll have them in my store when I have enough time to actually fill orders, which I can't do right now, because on top of the stress with that delivery issue, I'm also working on my next collection. So today I had to work on ephemera and the chipboard set. And I had to get my ready-made backgrounds, and I had to pack, and I had to check in for my flight. And then I had to source product. That's kind of day, Vicky said. But you know what? I'm still smiling. I missed what you said. Received news that a puppy is available in April. Hubby is saying no. Hubby? Who doesn't want a puppy? Puppies, hubby will say no, but that puppy will come home and it will be hubby's bestest friend. Hubby, say yes to the puppy. Puppies bring joy. So if you guys are doing access only for the vintage class, there was open stock paper as well as collection pack. And one of the open stock paper was a large floral, which is beautiful, and it's sold out. But I was able to secure the last 8 packs of the butterfly paper. So there will be 1 floral in there, but I won't be using 2 of the big florals. I'll be using 2 of the butterfly papers instead. Okay. So like I said, tough day. And yet here we're bringing sunshine. I'm telling you, oh my goodness, it is crazy. It's crazy. It's all the stuff that you think, okay, I've set myself up for success. And then, you know, that just shows you sometimes God has other plans for us. And today that was the deal, that I needed to find a solution. Look at with a stencil. How fun is that, right, friends? So I just love this technique. So we can do it with a stencil. I'm going to do 1 12 by 12 in a minute. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to do a whole rainbow pattern What else did I tell you we could use? A stamp. Oh, we did. No, embossing folder, stencil. And then let's look. This is what I had done my other one with, is a rubber stamp. You could use acrylic. You just have to test it, right? All the papers are gorgeous. No worries. We love florals and butterflies. Well, you have one of them in there. I just wanted the people who are doing access only to know if they are shopping for product that is going to be an issue, right? So I'm taking my crayon and I have it, oops, and I'm just using the side of it. Just like I said, those Barbie fashion plates. So it deposits ink on just the raised area, not in the valleys. So let's go in with a blue to show you. And then I'm going to do one full background. So remember how we have been working is that I want you to do a bunch of these in just 1-2 colors so that we can do some, there it is. I wanted Uncharted Mariner is what I was looking for. So we can do some different things with cutting them and sewing them and everything when all of our backgrounds are done. Oh, I did not want oxide though. That is not what you were looking for, Vicki. So yeah, it's been an interesting day. Right? We're going with prize ribbon. It's been an interesting day. And I can't believe we're at this point because I have to pack because I leave in the morning. So I've been up. I got up early so I could check us all into our flight. Got that. We get to sit together, which is nice. Get to see my friends. And then worked on the other craziness that is my life. Okay. So I want to press some ink in there around the wax because wax is resisting our distress ink, right? Isn't that fun? So let's write it down so you guys see what Vicki did here. This is stamp, stencil, and embossing folder. Right? You can do things that we like to do, like watermarking on this, right? Now remember, this paper is a fibrous cardstock, right? So we might not have that really detailed watermarking because the paper, see, you can see the water going right through it. Or here, we'll do one more corner. And then you could buff it, right? And any ink that's kind of sitting on top of the wax bits will lift up. But totally love that. Now can you see that there's some shine on there? Because it's wax, right? So you could do what we've talked about before, and you could put a piece of tissue paper on top, and you could run it through your Mink or run it under your iron, or if you have that ironing tool that comes with the Cricut for doing iron-on shirts. If you want to remove the wax, you totally could do that, right? You could totally do that. So I love that, right? What paper is this? Cheap, Julie? You know, when we did the gel plate class, I bought all different. I went to just the copy store and just bought better quality paper like heavier paper. So this one has no vellum finish on top. No vellum finish on top. It is just cheap printer paper, but not the cheapest, right? It's just a heavier, like, what would you call that? Card weight? Like it's like a card weight. So I couldn't even tell you. But you could use Nina, like a Nina, or you just don't want it the weight of foundations paper, because I don't, well, try it. You might get a little bit of result from it, but the paper is so heavy, it's not going to kind of sag into the kind of valleys of your pattern, right? So let's look at a 12 by 12. And this is what I thought would be fun. I'm going to try this. And then we'll do kind of maybe a rainbowy finish. So I have this big stencil. And I thought, how fun for a background, right? I could do this. Because if you are a paper crafter and you want a bigger piece, you totally could do this. So I'm going to give her with the crayon. It is just a plain old Crayola white crayon. I buy them by the box. I bought these ones on Dick Blick, or Blick, I guess it's just called now. But friends have found them on Amazon. So it's a white Crayola, right? It needs to be wax because you want a resist technique, right? So wax is not going to let water through it. It's going to bead on top of it. So in essence, the distress inks are a watery base, a thin base. Could you do watercolor on this? You can, but just know that it could bleed into the fibers of the paper. So you'll still get a really cool technique, but depending on the type of paper you're using and how fibrous it is, the pigment could run underneath the wax, but you still will see it. It just might be dark pink and light pink, which could be really freaking cool, right? I bought my first black foundations paper yesterday. Haven't used it yet. I don't even have it yet, Angela. So there. It's coming next week, right? I'm saying, so you're not the only one. I don't even have it. It has my name on it. I don't have it. So we will use it together. So I'm going to tack this down again just so it doesn't move on me. Okay. But yes, it's going to do amazing things with anything metallic and with oxides, right? Here we go. So I'm going to just give her in this circular motion. And I don't want to fill all the areas. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness, I can see it happening already. It's going to be awesome. So just going around with the side of my crayon. Could you use a colored crayon if you don't have white? You sure could. Just know that whatever color you're depositing is going to be your background, right? But I think yellow could be awesome on here. So if you have to wait for a white crayon to arrive, don't wait. Do it with something else too. Try it with something else. Okay. It's going to be so much fun. Are you excited? Probably not. Probably think I'm a whack job. Okay, here we go. I can see the wax deposited. It's so fun. Okay. Oh, it goes right in the middle. Let's do a little bit more in the middle. Okay. And this is just a thin white cardstock. This is going to be so pretty, my friends. So I'm going to start with my yellow. And I'm going to, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with that. So you're not going to see a ton of yellow, right? So I like to wipe off my wax as well, so I'm not depositing it all over my ink pad. So somebody had said, what about oxide? What color do I have here so I could show you? I'll do another one right after this in oxide, okay? So I'm going to start kind of here. You're not going to see a ton of the yellow, but I do want to deposit some of that color. Okay, so it's not a wow yet. It's very subtle. with the yellow. I don't even, oh, you can see the shine. Love it. Love it. And now I'm going to go in with that kind. Oh, I'm going to go in with saltwater taffy. And I'm going to use the same blending tool. So I'm just going to wipe some of the yellow off and do it again. Hello, Rain. How are you? Oh, we can see more. So let's get deposit some color in here. It looks like the stencil moved a little bit, but I'm totally okay with that. See how soft and pretty this is, friends? Hi, Pearl. How are you? Look how pretty. Very, very soft. Hi, Betsy. I get it. I understand why some people join late. You have supper that you're making, cleaning up. Depending what time it is, you might just be getting up. Let's go in with some Tattered Rose too. So some of these are going to be very subtle. Hi, Heather. How are you? Oh, I love it. Very pretty. Maybe a little bit up here too. Okay. A little Tattered Rose, some mustard seed. You can use whatever colors you want. Maybe I'm going to keep the whole thing kind of warm. Don't know. Might. We'll see. I'm going to go with some Wild Honey. This is a color that not a lot of people, I think, use a lot of Wild Honey. It is a favorite of mine. It's kind of an orangey yellow. It's very pretty. So my stencil did move, but I'm kind of digging it. But you just might want to be aware of that, right? Just secure it a little bit better. Love it. I'm going to revisit with some Wild Honey Tattered Rose again. I love Wild Honey too, Cindy. Yeah, I really do love it. And I'm going to blend that in to that Wild Honey. Now, because these are distress inks, I can totally just keep using the same blending tool. And we're in the same color family-ish. So is it going to give me pure color? No, it's going to give me kind of a combination of the color that's already on there and the color that I'm using, but it won't contaminate my pad. So I just want to blend that in there a little bit. And I find going back in with the light color and blending really gives you kind of a interesting technique. Okay, what else do we have in that family? Ooh, ripe persimmon. That might be delicious. And I know I'm going to do some more mustard seed. Let's go in with the ripe persimmon. The darker the color, the more impact that you'll get. Okay. So this technique, if you're just joining in, is called frottage. And I took a stencil, I laid it underneath my background, and I went over the whole thing with a white wax crayon, a Crayola on the side. And I got this awesome resist technique. Okay. I'm going to just deposit a lot of this color. Really digging that. Okay. That was ripe persimmon. Let's go in now with some abandoned coral. We can try it with some oxide too. I'll go in last with an oxide just so you guys can see. All right. Oh, I love that. So this paper is very porous, right? It doesn't have the vellum finish that foundations does. So it's going to grab the ink really quickly. So you got to be careful when you're using your distress on a more fibrous paper, because you will get, right? If I put this down and I'm not moving my blending tool, I will have a polka dot of pigment. And especially in the darker ones, they're not as forgiving, but we can always go in and watermark too, just to break it up a bit. Love that. So we will go back in with yellow now. And then my last color I will go in with will be, we'll use an oxide just so you can see what it looks like. And you ask why? If you followed me for a while, do you notice I normally use regular distress? I don't use oxide a lot. I use oxide more for stamping, but it is not my technique ink. It's not, there's nothing wrong with it. And I know a lot of you card makers, you love the blend that you can get with the oxide. It's just, I tend to like the transparency of regular distress. It doesn't, there's not one that's, it's not one is better than the other. It's just, I don't know if it's, I don't even know what I'm trying to say to you. Just a preference. And I think that's just personal, right? For each of us. There we go. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Freaking kids. There we go. I did not put do not disturb on. So my child called me to ask what was for food. And for some reason, when the phone call comes in, it kicks the mic off. So I apologize, but we're back. We're back. So loving this, right? Yeah. She's like, what's for supper? I'm like, I'm hanging out with my friends, Dev. Can't help you right now. Okay, let's try an oxide. So you guys, just so you can see, how do you guys feel if I go in with a little bit of like a blue, a soft blue now? Like, what about a little salty ocean? I think that'd be fun. I think that would be fun. So let's try it. And then a watermark on here. Yep, the screen went black and there was no sound. And I looked on my screen and my daughter was calling me because I did not put do not disturb, because normally no one calls me, right? So yeah, it happens. Like I said, this is not a pro show, right? I'm going to put a little, here we go. Okay, so this is the oxide. Does it work? It most certainly does. So you could totally blend some oxide in here. So if that's what you have, it will work beautifully. So I'm going to put some up here. It actually will give an earthiness too when it blends, right? Because I'm not blending it with true, just the yellows, right? And I'm going to bring it down in here. I'm okay with the muddiness of this tonight. We'll just get a little earthy tone in here. And let's see what happens. So I am getting this lovely green where it's going with the yellow. And usually you don't get that with oxide, right? It usually won't. It'll kind of sit on top, but look at what's happening. Woo! Prettiness. Okay. Okay. I don't want to do too much. Let's leave it with this. The paper is just cardstock, Jennifer. Whatever. I just had a pack of cheaper cardstock because if it's foundations, you might get the result, but the paper's too heavy. So it's going to be really hard to press through. It is kind of like a 70s tie-dye, right? Let's see. There's no vellum on this paper, so we're going to see if we can watermark nicely on here. And I want to break up some of that. So we're not going to watermark everywhere, but where I want that to blend in a bit. Look at that green that's happening, especially around the outer edges, okay? Part of me doesn't want to lift the pigment, but the other part of me does. So let's see, what are we going to get? Oh my goodness, friends. This is beautiful. If I do say so myself, I will hold that up. And the color is not really showing true. It's not showing true to color. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to layer a little bit. I can't mess with this paper too much, right? Because I'm going to heat set it, but I can't really heat set it or it'll melt my wax. But I want to be able to go in there with another coat of paint or of ink and then watermark it again. So I'm going to try without really baking the paper, just drying it a little bit. Because if I go and rub on it while it's damp, because the paper's cheap, I will pill it, right? I'll lift the pigment up. So I'm going to go in on some of these areas that lifted, and I'm going to add pigment again, and I'm going to watermark it a second time to get kind of layers. I just want to get some layers, and I'm definitely going to go in with that blue a little bit again. So right now I'm really just using the yellow in those watermarked areas just to deposit some pigment. And I'll show you why. It really makes them pop, if you can see that. So I just like to do that. And then I'm going to go in with that blue again because I really love the blue. Okay. Okay. Let's go in with that blue. Where did I put it? Do you see it? There it is. Okay, so I'm not overworking it because I don't want to pill the paper, but I do want to get some more of that blue in there, and I will watermark it one more time because it is just kind of looking like polka dots of color, right? I'm going to feed that down into here a little bit. Oh, loving this. And then I want to bring some of this blue out here. And maybe up in here. Okay. Okay, watermarking again. And I want some heavier drops too. Especially through the blue. And we could, if we wanted to, we could run that down. You could tip your page and let it run. Whatever tickles your fancy. Okay. I'm going to lift that again because I'm loving it. Hello, Irene. How are you? Let's see what happens. Let's lift it. Look at all that rainbow deliciousness. Rainbow, but not traditional. Oh, yeah. Not traditional rainbow, right? It's not traditional rainbow. Let's get a couple little wet marks too on here. This is very kind of, I don't know. Really pretty is what it is. It's very pretty. So I'm going to heat set it. I'm going to give her now, and then I will hold this up. Hello, Lorena. How are you? See you tomorrow in Moncton. I know. I am almost done. I promised myself tonight I'd only be on for an hour because I have so much to do. I still have to pack. And I have to get some stuff done for American Crafts as well. Oh, look at that coming out. Can you see that, friends? So I'm not going to bake it like a cookie, right? And I'm going to bring the camera down because I want you guys to be able to see what that looks like. Because when I look on the camera, it looks very vibrant. It's very muted, right? It's more muted. But I hope you guys can see that. I don't know what the quality is like. But isn't that a fun technique, friends? So you could go in and you could do strips of different patterns. You could stamp an image and then mask it. So say it was a big flower. Each flower petal could be a different pattern, and it could look like quilted, beautiful art, and you could sew on it, right? Or you could take this and stamp the same image on all these different patterns that you make, then die cut it or fussy cut it and paper piece it back together, and it would be beautiful. That's how I see this, that this would make like a beautiful kind of paper quilting by doing all the different techniques. Okay, I'm going to bring my camera down, and I'm hoping that you guys can see this better. Okay, sorry if that just made you sick. Because on my screen, it does not look very focused. So we will have to see. I'll take a picture of it and post it in the board. On Vicki Booten Creative Community Group page on Facebook. And I'll put it up on my Instagram as well. Facebook page, all those things, so that you guys can see it. Because I don't, sorry, you get to see the mess that is my life right now. I don't think you can see it as well, or it doesn't look as pretty on the screen when I'm looking as it does in real life, IRL. Anything else you'd like to see? Because like I said, tonight is a short one because Vicki has to get up at 4 o'clock, and I still have to make one more art project and pack my suitcase. So let's do one just with oxides quickly. What kind of pattern? I want to try something, okay? I want to see if this will work. So let's say if we have a big pattern like this, right? So I am going to sandwich this. I'm going to put that on the back like that. Let's tape it to the back so it doesn't move. And then I'm going to place it on top of this. Can I get a layered layer? If you know what I'm saying, let's try it. Can I get a layered layer? I might be able to, and I might not. And it's worth trying, right? That's what we do. These are the things that we do during these lives, okay? So I'm going to move that over now and see if we can get a row of this. Okay, so what I'm doing, right, is placing that in those open spots, flipping it, and see if we can get that tiley layer. Might be able to, and might not. Don't know. Can't even tell. We'll see. One more. Like I said, your paper cannot be super thick. If your paper's too thick, you're not going to get much of anything. I'm going to try this now. This side. It's a little easier. Oh, that one might work even better. It's way more raised. Okay, let's see. Are you excited to see what we got? Sorry, I'm shaking you all over the place. I'm going to leave the stencil in the background too. Okay, so let's go in with the blue to start because it's here. Oh my goodness. Enjoy that, Natalie. How fun. Natalie's at Hamilton. That is fun. Let's see. Let's see the reveal. Oh, is it going to work? Oh, I think maybe. What do you guys think? Okay, that is on the stamp. See on the, oh, look on the gel plate. Or on the, not gel plate, what are those things called? Embossing. So there you go. When you have a deeper impression, look at that. That is very fun. Shaking you. Sorry, friends. Okay. I want to go in with some prize ribbon. Very fun. I will hold this up closer. Thank you, Natalie. Enjoy the show. Yeah, I went to see Hamilton. It was excellent. You're going to have a great time. Enjoy, friend. Okay, going to want to really push some pigment in there. Let's see. Ooh, that was not the best move. This paper's too porous. Do you see what I just did? So we'll try to break that up. Don't do that. Leave it to Vicky. She will show you what not to do. And that was it. Don't do that. See, that would have been okay on foundations paper because it has the vellum finish. Not okay on this paper because it doesn't have a vellum finish. So you get, it's not going to be perfect, this effect, because a lot of wax is deposited. So it's kind of hard to get your pigment in here, but it's still very fun. Can you see that? And this is what you don't do. See what Vicky did there? Look how fun that is, though. So let's try the watermarking and see if it will let me, if there's any forgiveness there now, right? Of the mess I made in that corner. Not really. Not really. Like this is one of those, this is a good lesson because you can't undo that, right? I can never deposit now enough. Well, look at maybe if I just add more pigment just in a couple areas. You know what I'm going to do? Here's another thing. Let's try this. Remember we said what about watercolor? So let Vicky find. We'll do the kissing. Okay. I don't know how clean this is. We shall soon see. So it's a sheet of plastic. And I'm going to deposit some pigment on here. And we're going to kiss it. Oh, see? Let's kiss it. I like it. And I'll tell you why. What I was realizing as I was putting it down is if you watercolor on here, you are going to deposit more pigment. See? So it's sitting on top of wax. It's not going to stay there. But look at when you add water. I have no water. But let's see. There's acrylic paint in my water, okay? But look at when we were talking, can you watercolor this? Actually, because it puts more pigment in there, you get a really fun result. because it's only going to go where there is no wax, which isn't very much area on this side when it was on top of the stamp, more on this side. So let's do one more thing. Oh, here, the thing's still on here. So without that anything underneath, this is just going to be the tile pattern. I'm not going to do the whole rectangle of it, but you could add wax too, friends, on top of one color, right? I could watch what'll happen if we go in. We'll go in with purple now. Watch. Shaking you, sorry. Like a Polaroid picture. Okay, watch what's gonna happen. And I know I must have a purple here. I don't want to go in. I'm gonna go in with smoky hickory smoke. No, I don't know what I want to do. How about this? Uncharted Mariner. Uncharted Mariner. Where's my sheet of plastic? With some purple. Okay. So let's put down some Uncharted Mariner, which is more of a turquoisey dark blue. And seedless preserves. Oh. Oh. I don't want it. I want like a secondary color in there too. So do that. Here we go. Mess is going on, but I love it. I just want some of that to soak in there before I lift some pigment up. Take our brush. Force that in. So the more wax there is on here, right? It just kind of changes the look. And then we'll sop some of this up so that you can have more of a reveal. Because now, you know, like I was trying this over here, I really like it with the embossing folder behind. I don't like it with the stamp because the raised bits there wasn't enough contrast and too much wax is deposited. And when that happens, you can't really see. So you could go in again and do the drips, but just so you guys can see that reveal. Look at. So when I look, I really love this side, right? And then this, I love this corner. And then this one, too much wax, too much resist. So just doing the open areas, actually, you get enough yumminess that you could have left it there. But I'll cut the pieces out that I like, right? Cut the pieces out that I like. And like I said, you could totally, here's a fun thing too. You could iron it, remove the wax as much as you could, and you could put another color on top, and it should soak in to the areas that had the wax on it, right? Very fun. So this is frottage, the rubbing technique. Oh, I got some purple. Look at on my background here, because I'm just throwing stuff around like a crazy woman. So we got to make that look more intentional. Or not. Doesn't matter. Or now, because that will bother me. Guess what I have to do? We've got to add some purple drips on there. Just in that section. Barbie's going to have paint all over my shirt. Okay. And then clean up, Vicky. Stop being so crazy. Just a sec. Wipe this up a bit. There we go. And then I will lift that because I only want a hint of that purple on there. Love it. So even though I spilt the purple ink on there, now I tied it in. Wondering about my white sleeves? I think I'm still okay, Michelle. Yep. Barbie does not have any ink on her. I got crazy tonight. Craziness happened. So, right, we have, what else did we do tonight? Was that it? No, we did one more, didn't we? This. So this is a frottage technique where you rub on a raised area with the side of a crayon and then put your ink through it, or you could watercolor. It's on almost like Plinko. So when the water will run down, the drops, if you take it and tilt it, because it's going to go around all the waxed areas. So really fun. Right? Very fun, subtle and soft. Like I said, the color looks like really crazy on the camera, but it's not as red. It's more of like a peachiness. And then that one was like really crazy, Vicky, but I'll cut that up. You could use it as a full background, but I'll do some stuff with it. So I love that. So again, frottage is a rubbing technique where you take a wax crayon, or you could use pencil crayons. You just might not do all these like watery techniques with it. And then you create a resist. And then from that resist, by adding your inks and such, you have this beautiful, very soft pattern. So instead of directly stenciling it, you get more of this really kind of soft pattern. I still think the light down here is not doing these any justice. The colors look like Vicky went really vibrant, but they're not as vibrant in real life. And you could use a stencil. You can use a embossing folder. You could use a stamp. You could cut out shapes with your die cuts and then create your own plate by taping the die cuts to a background and then doing your crayon over top. Right? And then this was the crazy one, the kind of Vicky Gone Wild, but it is really pretty, right? Lots of wax here, lots of wax because I put the stamp through the stencil. This one, really fun. Looks like old wallpaper or something, right? And then that one was just the stencil, opposite side here, just the stencil. So very fun. So tonight's technique was frottage. All you need is a crayon. Even if you don't have a white one, you could use any wax crayon. It has to be wax to create the resist when you're using water backgrounds. You can't use a water-soluble art crayon because it's just going to blend in. You could still get a cool technique. It just wouldn't be a resist, but try it. Try it. What do we got to lose, right? Frottage, you could frottage with ink. You could ink all over the background and then go in with a second color when you release it or remove it from the textured bit, right? It doesn't have to be a resist. Frottage can literally be blending with chalk pastels. You could do different things. So it doesn't have to be a resist. It can just be a creating texture. Like if you went outside and took a piece of paper on the trunk of a tree and you took a piece of lead and you traced on it like we did when we were kids, or put leaves underneath, and you could go over with a pencil crayon or chalk pastel on top. So you could do that. Could you use candle wax? You sure could. Sure could, as long as candle's soft enough, right? So yeah, give it a try. The purple reminds me of Alice in Wonderland theme. I love that, Dora. So that was a lot of fun tonight. So if you are watching after the fact because you didn't know Vicki was going live on Thursday, hi, welcome. I hope you enjoy that. Please remember to thumbs up the video and leave a comment in the regular comment section. I would love that. If you're watching on Facebook, please leave a comment. Let me know what you're up to. If you're trying any of these techniques in this Creative Foundation series, I'd love to know that. I will see you again next Thursday because then I am away for a week. So definitely come and join me next Thursday for another one of these Creative Foundations lessons, because it really is a class every time we're on here, right? And make sure you're sharing what you're making and hashtag me, so or tag me and post it in the Vicki Booten Creative community group on Facebook. I'd love to see what you're making. So for anybody who is going to be in Moncton tomorrow at Crop and Create, I'll see you tomorrow. We'll hug for sure, and we're going to do a lot of fun things and have some classes and just visit. It'll be nice to see you guys in person. Is Black Foundations paper available yet? It is, just not through me yet, because I don't even have one pad. But my order was placed. It should arrive next week, but you can get it at all of your favorite online stores. It should be out there, so I know it is shipping, right? So I hope you enjoy that. Thanks, as always, for joining me on our live art sessions. I really enjoyed that. Really super fun technique. You don't need a lot of expensive tools to try it. So even grab your kids or your grandkids or your spouse, maybe your significant other wants to try this with you. If you're a teacher, try it with your students. I think they'll enjoy it. But I'll see you next week, friends. Have a wonderful weekend and a great evening or morning, wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you later. Bye, friends.